and I'll probably share with you one Google form regarding which project you are interested to work on. Okay, fill it up. It'll be great. Okay, welcome to today's lecture. And since we are back again after probably a couple of weeks, if I'm not wrong, so what we shall do is I will just recap into the last lecture which we had done in our previous class. So in our previous class, we started with the difference between this contact potential and the built-in potential. Okay, remember we had initially begun with the contact potential and built-in potential under equilibrium. Notice that we had established that built-in potential is the situation where a simple homojunction is under equilibrium. So this is the situation, the homojunction under equilibrium, only then contact potential is equal to the built-in potential. Okay, so the moment you are, it is at equilibrium, but instead of homojunction, we are having heterojunction. This is the case of a MOS capacitor. A MOS capacitor is under equilibrium because there is no charge flow thanks to the dielectric layer. We will understand MOS cap after this, after finishing of the junctions. So a heterojunction, a typical example of heterojunction, as I said, MOS cap, 2T-MOS, two-terminal MOS structure. So a heterojunction under equilibrium, that is also going to have a contact potential, not built-in potential. Okay. Then again, a homojunction or a heterojunction under bias, okay, like this is always going to have a contact potential. So contact potential is the generalized term. So contact potential is there for a homojunction, a heterojunction, as well as independent of whether it is under bias or not. Okay. Only in a special case, when we have a homojunction under no bias or under equilibrium, we have contact potential is equal to built-in potential. That part was clear in our previous lecture. I had explained this in details. So essentially meaning that the contact potential I have written as the maximum contact potential, basically phi max is equal to phi bi plus V. Okay, V is the applied bias. Okay, now we went to the physical explanation. Everybody knows that. Now, then we went on to understand the junction electrostatics, the charge density, electric field, then the potential. From there, we essentially deduced the concept of the depletion width. And then finally, we answered a few questions which are extremely important from an interview perspective. And remember the class before this, okay, we discussed about the Debye length, right? So Debye length is the order, basically order at which this Na and Nd can be a step function. So there is a small error over here. It's never a straight line like this, the way I have drawn. Okay, so that error order is the Debye length. That Debye length we had seen, it was in the order of 41 nanometers for the standard doping levels, that is 1 ppm. 1 ppm is 10 power 16 per centimeter cube. So this was 41 nanometers. But for the same standard doping profile, we have calculated that the depletion width is around 42.5 micrometers. So it's, you can clearly see it's in the 3 orders more, 1,000 times larger than the Debye length for the same kind of doping. Okay, so Debye length in general, always remember that Debye length should be the least dimension possible in the device. Okay, so that was the recap of our previous lecture, and in today's lecture we will begin with where we ended, with the depletion width concept. Okay, this is today's lecture. So this is the same equation which I have simply copied from our previous lecture. ठीक है ना, कोई अंतर नहीं है. So in today's lecture we are going to cover up these 4 topics initially. That is our plan. Now, what is the depletion capacitance? Okay, in a diode or any junction, in a BJT also, we are always going to encounter 2 capacitances. Okay, one capacitance is essentially inherent because of the depletion charges. You can clearly understand that you have a diode here. Okay, and then you have got this entire depletion region. Now this is your W depth, as we all know. Okay, and what is the most important thing to understand here is that these depletion charges are essentially spread out inside this entire depletion region. Okay, so that means we can have, if this is p type region, okay, so they are going to have negative, and here it is n type region, we are going to have positive, equal number of positive charges and negative charges. So the entire junction is essentially electrically neutral. That is what we have studied last class. Now we want to find out what is the capacitance. And by the way, from the fundamental principles of physics, we know that the capacitance is essentially uh, capacitance will arise only when there is a charge separation. Capacitance implies charge separation. ठीक है, चार्ज होने पर ही कैपेसिटेंस नहीं होता, चार्ज सेपरेशन से कैपेसिटेंस होता. So that means suppose you have a plus charge somewhere, this will not give you any capacitance unless and until you have a charge separation somewhere, and this is a separation in terms of the distance, तभी आपका कोई कैपेसिटेंस आने वाला है. ठीक है, so unless you have a charge separation, not only charge should be there and there should be a distance between the two charges, only then you have a effective capacitance. ठीक है ना. तो यहाँ पर देखो, obviously we can say that there are immobile charges here, there are immobile charges here, and there is a charge separation. Remember that we still have the boron ions here and the phosphorus ions there as well, but that is electrically neutral. Why is it? Because we have got free holes and free electrons over here. And so the electron and hole, the mobile electron and holes, they will neutralize the ions over here. So effectively meaning that these boron and these phosphorus ions are not ionized. Okay, so they are essentially in the atomic state, atoms only, neutral atoms. Whereas in these case, only borons and phosphorus ions are there. Okay, because the mobile ions have essentially recombined. So that means there are no mobile ions. So all the charges in the depletion region are only because of the static immobile ions. ठीक है ना, ये हमने लास्ट क्लास में डिटेल्स में पढ़े थे. ओके, नाउ सो अगर कोई चार्जेस निकालना है, देन द बेसिक concept of capacitance, how is it defined? It is defined as simply dq dv. ठीक है ना, तो वही हम यहाँ पर कैलकुलेट करेंगे. Where is this q? Q is the charges in either the n side or in the p side. Correct na? So because that is the charge which we are going to have. Okay, so we know as of now that these charges are spread out throughout this depletion region. Remember, it is uniformly spread out inside the depletion region. So we will just go by the first principles of calculating the capacitance. ठीक है? So depletion charge क्या होगा? देखो, Q depth, that is the depletion charge, is equal to either the N region या फिर P region. अगर एज अ होल देखोगे तो चार्ज तो न्यूट्रलाइज हो जाएगा, राइट? सो ना, चार्ज विल बी जीरो. So for example, whenever we are speaking about a parallel plate capacitor, plus Q minus Q, तब हम कैसे निकालते हैं? If you think about this entire pill box, the entire system of taking both the terminals of the capacitor is always electrically neutral. कोई charge है ही नहीं. Only when you consider it somewhat like this, okay, this green part only then you will be having a parallel plate capacitor concept. correct? उसी तरह से हम यहाँ पर सिर्फ एक ही टर्मिनल लेंगे. So that means you can either take QNA XP या फिर QND XN. Cool. So this XP and XN, these equations we already got in our previous lecture. I have just simply put it, XP and XN. If you notice, whether you are considering the N side of the depletion region or the P side of the depletion region, you are essentially getting the same expression for the Q depletion. That is the total depletion charge. कितना charge है depletion region में. ठीक है, तो अभी हमें यहाँ पर कैसे निकालेंगे? Very simple. Instead of this W depth, I will simply add the equation, insert the equation of W depletion which we had calculated in our previous lecture. ठीक है, we will simply plug it in over here W depth के जगह पे. So basically this is q by 1 by na plus 1 by nd root over this w depth. ठीक है ना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. The reason why I want to do it is because I just want to ensure that this phi max factor comes into the picture. तो ये phi max क्या है? Remember, phi max is phi bi plus v. V is the applied voltage at the junction. तो यानी कि अगर ये phi max is equal to phi bi plus v, now let us look at this equation. This simplification is something which you can, this algebra you can study it later. So phi max is equal to phi bi plus v. If you notice, except this v, which is the applied bias at the junction, rest of all the terms are all constants. ठीक है? तो फिर by definition, as I have shown over here, C dep equal to ddv, v is the applied bias of q dep. तो यहाँ पर सिर्फ phi max में ही ये v है ना? So what will happen is we have done the derivative, okay, and we have seen that it will come out to be something like this. Now, one interesting thing what I've done is I have multiplied the numerator and the denominator by root over epsilon si. तब क्या होने वाला है कि this root over epsilon si square under the root, this will essentially come out, and I can rearrange this form into this equation. Now, the most interesting part is epsilon si by this one, if you notice, is the same as the expression of the depletion width. Okay, so here you will get epsilon si by w dep. Now, wait a minute. What does it imply? Look, if you go through the standard Streetman or any of this BTech level textbooks, what they will say is that depletion width is simply depletion capacitance C dep is equal to epsilon si by the depletion width. But you have to keep in mind that this is the expression for a parallel plate capacitor. Just the only thing is that in parallel plate capacitor, you will be having epsilon A by the separation between the charges. यहाँ पर A को हम लिखते नहीं है. We are going to have this as the unit. So basically, whatever device level capacitance we will consider, not the circuit level. Next semester, if I'm teaching circuits, I'll teach you that the net capacitance which you are doing in, for example, VLSI design course or in analog IC design course, in those circuit designs, you have to bother about that A. That what is that A? That is a W into L. And in the circuit designs, you know that you have to play around with this W term, sizing of the transistors, right? So now what happens is at the device level, as a device engineer, you will not bother about this area. This area factor is something for the circuits people to optimize according to the requirement of the circuit. Okay, na? So in a device level, we are essentially always referring it as farad per centimeter square. That means you are essentially not considering this area factor. Okay, na? So now if you notice that if you do not have this is something similar to a simple parallel plate capacitor. Okay, now what does it mean? In a parallel plate capacitor, you are having all the charges in one terminal here and all the negative charges in the other terminal. One is in the anode, other one is the cathode. This is the typical parallel plate capacitor which you have studied in your high school. Okay, na? Very simple. But from the first principles, when I have done the modeling, so when I'm trying to model the depletion capacitance, physics-based model, what we understand is that we have essentially got the same expression like this. Okay, so this is something interesting. What it means is the depletion capacitance, which is given by epsilon si by w dep, it means that even though the charges are uniformly distributed throughout the depletion region, as I have said, they behave as if they are only at the depletion boundaries separated by the depletion width, just like a parallel plate capacitor. Okay, so now we have understood why that thing happens. Now, when I was in ISC Bangalore, no, I think in IIT Bombay, at that time, in fact, I was asked in one of the interviews when I was a student like you, whenever we are having this is the depletion situation, they are uniformly distributed, then how come we are saying that all the charges are either here, is either here, this is like minus q charge, this is the plus q charge, and the depletion region. So you can understand, right? So this will essentially lead to a capacitance which is given by epsilon si by the w depth. वही तो आया है यहाँ पर. But remember, it is not minus q and plus q, it is actually distributed throughout this. Okay, so I thought this is a very very important thing that you have to keep in mind, that even though you, so basically in the interviews you can say like, it can be mathematically proven that even though the charges are uniformly distributed, the depletion charges will behave as if they are accumulated only at the depletion boundaries. Okay, and this conclusion, this thing is called the depletion approximation. Okay, that means the charges are completely separated by the depletion width. ठीक है, concept clear हो रहा है? ठीक है. And clearly you can understand, since the charges are separated by the depletion width, we can say it is a perfect case of charge separation. That is what you get the depletion capacitance. Now, very important to note over here is that the depletion capacitance has got nothing to do with the operating frequency. So that means if you are having a diode or any junction, okay, wherever in the device, you are always going to have some depletion capacitance that is fundamentally available because of the doping on the two sides of the junction. So essentially meaning that whenever there is a charge separation, depletion charges, you are always going to have a depletion capacitance. So that means this is essentially a DC capacitance. ये बहुत important सोच लेना. Let me just write it also. Both DC and AC. Okay, this depletion capacitance, so whenever you are designing circuits, DC and AC, later on we will notice that there is a separate kind of capacitance which comes, which will be activated only at high frequency AC. DC में वो आता ही नहीं है. That is called diffusion capacitance. We will look into that after we do the transport. Obviously transport में ही तो होगा ना, जब आप AC signal दोगे, carriers are moving and all that. So only at high frequency AC we will be having diffusion capacitance. And believe me, you know that there is one analog IC design and all that, right? Whereas there is separate field called RF, radio frequency. Why? Because in RF, when you are doing for high frequencies, in that case you are going to have high frequency analysis, and basically the capacitance will be much more important term over there because of the diffusion capacitance. Just keep that in mind. So RF is a new beast actually. So if I ever teach you RF microelectronics, it will be very interesting. So the main component of the capacitance at the RF frequencies will be the diffusion, which is more than the depletion. Okay. Now we are going to study the most important junction which you are going to encounter everywhere. तो पहली बात तो यह है कि diodes and BJTs are obsolete. ठीक है? Diodes are also obsolete because later on we will see it is much more beneficial for us to design the diodes. BJT तो हालांकि transistors हैं, so basically MOSFETs are anyway transistors, so we don't BJT is completely gone. It's totally obsolete. Diodes जो है ना, those are also not used in IC design. Whenever we need a diode, we will simply make a MOSFET behave like a diode. So I'm pretty sure that all of you have studied something called diode connection. That has been done in VLSI design, right? I'm sure. So diode connection in VLSI design, in analog IC design, is going to be very, very important. So when we begin with the circuits course, that is also very, very interesting for me. So in the circuits course, I will teach you the importance of the diode connection. Okay. So anyway, diode connection of a MOSFET basically. So that means a MOSFET will start behaving like a diode. It has got immense applications, especially in the analog domain, analog and mixed signal domain. So the point is, if you want to have diodes using MOSFETs itself, then फिर डायोड्स का कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है, करेक्ट? सो नाउ व्हाट वी विल अंडरस्टैंड इज दैट in a MOSFET, where is the junction? So, okay. So in our mid-semester examination, I set one question, very simple question anyway. Many of you might be thinking, okay, sir ने MOSFET पढ़ाया नहीं लेकिन question दे दिया. But in the solution, you have seen that those of you who have understood MOSFETs, at least the very basic structure, you will remember that we are essentially having a diode, N plus P diode in the case of a MOSFET. Okay. So diode in the standard textbooks, they will always show like a junction like this N and P. But in a MOSFET, it is N plus P. In a BJT, it is clearly you can see the junctions, right? So what I'm suggesting is that in one-sided junction, what happens is we will be having any one of these two doped regions, either N or P type P sites. One of them will be very heavily doped. ठीक है ना? So if it is heavily doped, as in the case of PN junction, or in the case of MOSFET, MOSFET में क्या होता है? Source and the channel region, right? The channel region is part of the substrate actually. It becomes a channel only after inversion. Okay, so by default, the channel region or the just below the surface and the substrate, they are essentially having a very low doped P substrate, and N plus is the source. ठीक है ना? So now this you are having an N plus P junction. Here also we have got N plus P junction. On this case also N plus P. This is also N plus P back to back junction, which is a BJT. Now, whenever we are speaking about one-sided junction, why is it called one-sided? We will understand in a minute. What happens is, just let's go back to the fundamental equation over here. Notice the depletion width is like this. It turns out that if it is a one-sided junction, one of the two sides will be heavily doped. अगर वो heavily doped है, then what will happen? Notice the XP and XN. XP is the extent of depletion width in the P region. This is the extent of the depletion width in the N region. Okay. So what we understand is that I have simply written that, remember, it was this. So I have simply put this ND, divided numerator denominator by ND. Here I have divided numerator denominator by NA. Simple. So we will be essentially getting this expression for XP, and this is for the expression for XN. Now when ND is much larger than NA, सिर्फ ND क्यों बता रहे हैं? Because in these examples I have shown for N MOSFET where it is N region, NPN BJT, emitter is more heavily doped than the base, right? तो यहाँ पर N plus, PN junction may be N plus. Okay, so the most practical case of a diode which you will see everywhere, basically everywhere you will see only MOSFETs only, whether it is FinFETs. FinFET is also a special type of MOSFET. Tunnel FET, which I'm doing research. So tunnel FET is also special kind of MOSFET. So wherever you find a MOSFET kind of structure, you are essentially going to have this. This is the most important junction which you will ever encounter. Okay. So if N plus P, ND is much larger than NA, तो इस expression में अगर देखोगे ना, so NA upon ND is almost going to be much less than 1. So XP will be equal to W depth. Whereas in XN case, ND upon NA, ND is much greater than NA. So basically, W depth divided by a very large quantity. So XN tends to 0. Okay? So in a one-sided junction, the entire depletion region extends entirely on the low doped side. Okay? So that means in this particular situation, the depletion boundary will be, let us say, here. And on this case, it is going to be here. So as you can clearly see that the depletion width is much larger in this case. Similarly, depletion width is here. Depletion boundary is here. This side it will be extended more towards the low doped side. Okay? Now, in case of a BJT, it is interesting. If we have the same kind of doping levels as we have shown over here, then यहाँ तक होना चाहिए, यहाँ तक होना चाहिए. And this entire base region will be depleted because मैंने जो दिखाया है, like it is very wide, right? So this entire base region will be depleted. So what does it imply? That we will see in our next class that the width of the base in a BJT should be as small as possible, and the doping in the P region should also be as small as possible. Why is that? If the doping is small, as well as the depletion width is also, as well as the base width is small, what will happen is that the number of free carriers, or even the number of immobile charges over here, will be so less that the amount of recombination from the emitter to the collector will be very less. So what does it mean? Your alpha will essentially go up. Okay, so go up in the sense alpha will be more and more towards 1. What is the alpha? Transistor efficiency, right? So essentially meaning that you are going to have a better and better BJT. We will understand BJT in some later time, but the basic concept remains over here. We will understand this kind of junction as a narrow base junction, which we will study in our next lecture. So from a electrostatics perspective, what we understand is that if you want to make a one-sided junction, then in a BJT and MOSFET, we want to ensure that the substrate is as much depleted as possible. In fact, we will learn when we do MOSFETs later. There is a very interesting concept called FDSOI, fully depleted silicon on insulator. So that means this entire silicon on insulator, okay, SOI. So entire silicon on insulator will be depleted. We will understand fully depleted FDSOI towards the end of this course. So FDSOI is a solution to the short channel effects. So after we do the short channel effects in case of a MOSFET, we will understand that how FDSOI takes care, or let us say mitigates or lessens the short channel effects as we know it. Okay. So once we have this XP and XN, so XP, the depletion width extension in the P region will be completely equal to the W depth. We can ignore the depletion width in the N region. Okay, na? And in the equation for the W depth also we know, you can see here clearly, since Nd is much far greater than Na, then 1 upon Nd is far less than 1 upon Na, which you can ignore. Okay, so in this expression you can simply cancel out this 1 upon Nd term, and you are left with only Qna. Okay, so if this is true, then what is the C depletion? C depletion का जो expression निकाले थे, अब देख सकते हो, you are only left with this particular relation. Okay, so one-sided junction is there in every N plus P junction in a MOSFET and also in BJT. BJT you will not encounter anywhere in modern world. You will find it in all MOSFET, FinFET, TFET, everywhere you will find N plus P junction. Okay, so those are all effectively one-sided junctions. Now, this is from the mathematics which we have got. Okay, based on the equations and the physical understanding, let us look slightly deeper inside the device. Whenever we are suggesting it is N plus P, that means one side is heavily doped, then how does it look like inside the band diagram? Band diagram means, always remember, this is E and this side is X. Okay? Unit nanometer, this side unit electron volt. Initially, towards the beginning of this course, we used to do EK diagram. That was for the band structure for the materials. Always remember here. But here, these are kind of two different materials. One is P-type, one is N-type. So here, we never have a band structure for a diode. We have a band structure for silicon. We have got a band structure for P-type silicon. We have got a band structure for N-type silicon. But we have a band diagram for a NP uh, diode, PN diode. Okay, we have got a band structure for a MOSFET. We have got a band diagram for a MOSFET. We have got a band structure for metal. We have got a band structure for an oxide. We have got a band structure for silicon. But we have got a band diagram for MOS structure. Okay, so a device will always have a band diagram, and a band structure is there only for the material, individual material. Okay, so once we have got this, so this is the band diagram. यहाँ पर x है, not k. This is a fundamental mistake many of you make. Here is the energy. ठीक है ना? Now the moment we said that this nd is much larger than na, okay, what does it mean? We have noticed, we have learned earlier that if we are doping it higher and higher, what happens? The Fermi energy level goes more and more towards the conduction band edge, है ना? तो अगर nd, if nd is much larger, so in what is the situation? This situation is for nd much greater than na. ठीक है? So if nd is much larger, so this nd, since nd is much larger, so what will happen? This Fermi energy level will and essentially become approximately equal to ECN, conduction band edge in the n-type region. ठीक है? Whereas the EFP is not, I mean, kind of aligned with EVP because it is Na is not that much doped. Then clearly, what is your contact potential? Simply phi max. हाँ, phi max क्या होगा? हम लोग क्या करते थे? This Eg by 2 is now approximately equal to Q phi Fn. ठीक है? So instead of writing this phi Fn plus phi Fp is equal to phi max as we have done for the case of the built-in potential, यहाँ पर क्या होने वाला है? Eg by 2q plus phi Fp. Note one important thing. This x-axis in this band diagram is basically the energy, right? तो यहाँ पर Eg by 2 लिखे हैं, ECP, EIP, EFP, EVP. Whereas contact potential is potential, unit is volts. What was the unit over here? Electron volts, energy unit. यहाँ पर volt है, इसीलिए Eg by 2 Q यहाँ पर divide करना है. Okay, plus phi Fp ये वाला plus Eg by 2q plus the applied bias. अगर मैंने यहाँ पर built-in potential करता, in the textbooks usually they write in terms of built-in potential. Built-in potential means is V is equal to 0. Simple. Okay. So this is the phi max in the case of a one-sided junction. The reason why I'm showing this is note that the built-in potential in a one-sided junction is independent of the doping of the heavily doped side. I should have actually written this. I'll write it here. So conclusion, I'll write it after the class. I don't want to waste time in the class. So what is the conclusion over here? That means the built-in potential of a one-sided junction is independent of the doping in the heavily doped side. So that means यहाँ पर देखो Na ही है सिर्फ. So that means if you are having a MOSFET, okay, the built-in depletion width depends only on Na. The built-in potential over here, later on we will understand, we will try to relate this in terms of the surface potential also. So this phi max built-in potential or contact potential between N plus P, the junction potential also it is called sometimes. So this junction potential is independent of the doping in the N plus region. तो यानी कि यहाँ पर अगर आपने, suppose you have doped it here 10 power 20, here you have doped 10 power 16. That means your phi max is dependent only on this 10 power 16 part. यानी कि सोर्स को आप क्या डोप कर रहे हो उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. समझ में आ रहा है? So that means you can clearly understand that the MOSFET behavior will only depend on the substrate doping. Source and drain region में आप क्या डोप कर रहे हो उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. As long as it is heavily doped. That's it. Okay. That's a very, very important concept we'll be utilizing throughout our MOSFET sessions. Okay, now we come to the last topic of this lecture, and this is also very, very important. Again, in the perspective of the modern electronic devices, okay? In the nanoscale devices, nanoelectronic devices. This topic you will not find in most of the textbooks. In Torrending, it is mentioned, but they have not done the analysis. They have only mentioned the final results. Okay, so there is a lot of mathematics over here, but as I have, as you know, that each and every thing I tell you in this lectures in my classes, I will essentially work it out from scratch. Even that one chronic penny model. Remember, I worked out for like 3 or 4 pages of mathematics, and finally we came to the result. I did not even explain that, it's not necessary as such, but I wanted to be clear to myself, like if there is any one of you who is interested, you will know how it is done. Okay, but you will never find that derivation, complete derivation in any textbook whatsoever. Similarly, you will not find this inclusion of I layer, that is PIN diode, I layer. What is the influence? This entire workout, this is unavailable in any textbook. In torrenting, you will find the final results. Okay, so let's begin. First of all, why the hell do we even require this I layer? Okay, because अब तक तो सब ठीक था, one-sided junction and all that, NP. Now, what happens is in the modern devices, again, this PIN diode you will not find in this concept, you will not find in Streetman and all that. You will find in torrenting, as I said, because these are all for the modern devices. Because in nanoscale, what happens is, first of all, in our previous lectures, I had already told you, if you want to scale the device, you have to increase the doping. Hai ki nahi? We have seen that, right? So if you want to increase the doping, then your debye length will be reduced, depletion width will be reduced. Okay, clearly you can understand here, right? There is an Na factor. So if you are increasing the doping of the bay, this WDEP will essentially come down. So that means if you increase the substrate doping of a MOSFET by 100 times, this is 1 upon root over 100 is, that means it will increase by 10 times. Sorry, this will decrease by 10 times. If you increase Na by 100 times, WDEP will be reduced by 10 times. Okay, excellent. So now what we will do is we have to increase the doping. What is the problem with that? Let's get back to our previous class. Notice that in the expression for the maximum field component is essentially, if you notice, it is directly proportional to the doping. Correct? So as I told you, if you want to scale the device, you think that, okay, I want to reduce the W depletion by 10 times. Fine. That means it implies that you have to increase Na by, this is 10 times, you have to increase by 100 times. What does it imply from here, this relation? Fmax also increases by 100 times. Now, if the field across the junction, okay, right here, okay, Fmax, if Fmax increases by 100 times, what is the problem? Your device reliability will be at stake. Okay, your devices will not be reliable. थोड़ा सा भी voltage ज़्यादा हो गया, device burn out हो जाएगा. Avalanching will take place, tunneling will happen, and essentially you are gone. Okay, so that means in the modern devices, we need to ensure the reliability of the device as well. Just to do that, we usually use one small I region of length, say D, which is sandwiched between the Na and the Nd regions. ठीक है ना? पहले क्या था? This entire box, let us say, okay, this was somewhere here. है कि नहीं? We have seen that in our previous class. But now what we notice is we will insert or sandwich one I layer between the N and P regions. Okay? So the main objective is that we want to prevent that the potentials, remember, potential has to be the same between this PIN as well as PN diode. The potential will remain the same. Why? Because you are anyway applying the biases, right? So VGS, VDS जब आप bias दोगे, so the potential will remain the same only. The only thing is that means contact potential, built-in potential, they will not remain the same. However, we want to make sure that the electric field across the junction should not be very high. So इससे क्या होने वाला है कि we will do the analysis and see that if we insert a small I layer, intrinsic layer between the N and P regions of the diode, you are going to reduce the phi max truncate kind of thing, truncate the phi max over here, so that your device will still be reliable even when you are applying a higher bias. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to model this PIN diode mathematically. This course is all about modeling, right? So we will just do the mathematics and we will figure out how it is getting reduced. Okay, and by what factor the electric field will be reduced. So that is our objective. समझ में आया? Huh? So in the short channel effects, one of the major short channel effect we will learn later on is that the electric field becomes high. So short channel effects में क्या आता है कि since you have to dope it higher, so the electric field, the junction fields will be very high, which is detrimental for the uh, device reliability, right? So in order to counteract that, so as a solution of that, we will be inserting an I layer. So whatever we are doing right now will be considered as one of the solutions of the short channel effects. One of the solutions to the problems of short channel effects. Okay, na? We will again revisit this towards the end of this course when we are doing scaling. Okay, scaling and their effects. Okay, so ये हो गया PIN diodes का. So let's now begin. Let us now begin with the uh, three regions, 1, 2, 3. Typically, as we have done in our in the case of our quantum mechanics. Okay, so we have applied the Poisson equation or Maxwell's first equation, okay, in the three regions. So in the region 1, known. In region 3, it is also known. In region 2, since the charge is 0, charge density is 0 because it is intrinsic layer, right? You have not doped there. What happens? This, instead of Na, it is going to be 0. Instead of Nd, it will be 0. So essentially df dx equal to 0. Clear? So what we understand is that the field has to be constant during this region, as I have shown over here. It is constant. Now I have simply carried out the calculation as we had done for the simple PN junction electrostatics. And we figured out that F0, that means the field at the point 0, is given by here QNA XP by epsilon SI, and the field at D, okay, is also the maximum field, which is given by this. I have done the calculation here, you can check it out. Now what is important here, again as usual I have put a minus here, so F max dash. Okay, the reason why I'm putting a dash in this case is because I'm trying to later on I'm going to compare the field and the potentials whatever we have calculated for the PIN diode, including this I region, with the original one without that I region, where we will simply remove this dash. Okay, so technically I should actually put everywhere as dash. That means these fields are the fields with the I region. Okay, समझ में आ रहा है सबको? That means all these primed quantities are for the diode with the intrinsic region sandwich. If you are trying to do without that, wherever you find that unprimed variable, that means it is for the standard diode case, okay, where you have not included the intrinsic region. Fine, very good. So now what we will do is once we have got this f dash max, okay, now the expression for f dash whatever we had will be equal to minus d phi dx. Cool, ye to basic fundamental definition of electric field, right? So let me just put as equivalent. That means it is equivalent in definition, equal by definition. Okay, so from there I will just try to calculate the phi 0, which is the potential at 0, and phi max, and here I'll get simply phi d minus phi 0, which is essentially given by this relation. Okay, now if we want to draw this phi 0, phi d, phi and phi max, you are essentially going to get an expression like this huge one. अब interesting क्या चीज है? From minus xp से 0 तक, it is going to follow the parabolic relation which we saw in a simple p-n junction. Beyond the region D, beyond the boundary of the I region, you are going to have again a parabolic से लेकर, it will essentially flatten out. Between 0 and D, it is going to be linear. होना ही है. Just think about it. Charge was 0, so F, the field, was constant. Constant का अगर integrate करना है, it is always going to be proportionate to x. ठीक है ना? So it is a linear region. Okay, ये तो मैथमेटिक्स जगलरी हो रहा है, बट इससे काम का क्या हो रहा है? For that, so now we want to prove, we want to find out the factor by which you are going to have the same electrostatics, but the electric field will be reduced. So that is our objective, right? So if it is same electrostatics, that means you are going to apply as if आपको जितना VGS VDS देना था वो आप दे रहे हो. Whatever VGS VDS you have to apply, you will be applying as usual. The device will operate as usual. So there will be no difference from a circuit's operation perspective. However, the device will be immune to any kind of, I mean, they will be more reliable. They will be able to sustain more amount of voltage fluctuations or noise fluctuations. Everyone getting me? So that is our objective कि आप किसी भी तरह किसी भी हालत में आपका इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड ज्यादा नहीं हो जाएगा. Okay, so now this is kind of involved, but I'll just explain what it is. You can go through it, those of you who are interested. So the charge neutrality, clearly you can understand the entire device is always electrically neutral. यहाँ पर तो कोई charge है ही नहीं. So that means this area under the curve, that was q and d into xn minus d, height multiplied by the width of this rectangular region, and here width 0 minus of minus xp, that is xp into the height, that is qna, will essentially be the charge neutrality over here. ठीक है? So वहां से we have found out the expression for w dep dash. Again, dash means for the PIN diode, PIN junction. So phi max, I have done it, and essentially we have found out that phi max in terms of f max dash. Note, I did not bother to put one dash over here because this phi max is always going to be the same as the phi max without that I region. Please try to understand why. Because this phi is the potential. The potential has to remain the same as an normal case of a PN junction without that I region. Because if the phi max is different, that means potential is different. So as if you are changing the even biases of the junction. No, that's not possible, right? We have to ensure that the biases will remain the same, potential biases will remain the same. However, the electric field is coming down. ठीक है ना? तो phi max is the same as the phi max of the simple PN junction, not the PIN. So the phi max of contact potential of the PIN junction and the contact potential of the PN junction remains the same. That is the first important condition. So from there, we have put that F max, and essentially we have got this W dep dash. Okay. And then once we have done this analysis, we have figured out that the depletion width increases by this particular factor. Clearly you can understand, agar depletion width is like this, so depletion capacitance, so we have already seen, right? It will be epsilon Si by W dep. So C dep dash, which is for the PIN diode, and C dep is for the PN diode, will essentially be the inverse of this particular factor. ठीक है? ये आ गया. We will understand the physical significance of these relations in a minute. Here finally we have figured out the f dash max as a ratio of f max. This is the relation. Okay. Now let us the algebra and mathematics is already solved out. So now let us understand, like, first of all, if d is equal to 0, you can see all of them are equal. Agar d 0 hai, then f max dash will be equal to f max. W dep dash will be equal to W dep, C dep dash. However, what, let us now check it. If D increases, this whole factor increases. So basically W depth increases. Is it always true? Of course. Notice that if D is increasing, that means this D is increasing. That means from minus xp to xn, this distance, that is xn plus xp. So let me show it like this. So W depth, depletion width, is equal to simply xn plus xp, right? ये total distance तो बढ़ जाएगा ना, because xn is being calculated from 0 to xn. ठीक है? So W depth is increasing clearly. I mean, no confusion about this. Now notice, अगर ये D बढ़ा रहे हैं, that means I am increasing the intrinsic region I. This width of the intrinsic region अगर हम बढ़ा रहे हैं, then what is the influence on the capacitance? So if this increases, this whole factor increases, that means C dep dash decreases. Awesome. Capacitance is going to be a major hindrance for our circuit operation. Higher the capacitance, RC delays will be larger. So essentially your delays will be higher. So what do we understand? If we can introduce one small I region inside the PN diode, between the P and N regions of the diode, you are going to gain in terms of the performance of the circuit, yaar. है कि नहीं? Because your depletion capacitance will be reduced. So I don't know why this is not included in the textbooks, but you can clearly understand it has got so much of influence in the IC design. In advanced VLSI design, we will go learn many more techniques how to make the circuit work faster or use less power. Now, so what is the situation here? Your capacitance will be less. Okay. Now, finally, if D increases, okay, clearly you can understand that your F max dash is also going to reduce. Okay, so what it means is, suppose if D increases a lot, okay, if D is very high, something interesting is going to happen. It's so much higher that it is, this one can be ignored. Then F max dash will go on reducing until F max dash will become zero only. That means your device will essentially not even function. So it means is that you cannot definitely go on increasing D indefinitely, like forever. Obviously it makes sense. आप depletion width, अगर आपने intrinsic region को इतना ज़्यादा बढ़ा दिया कि everything interesting is going to die down. You need to have this I region only a few nanometers at max. Okay, so this is a very important thing. Now, how do you implement this I region in case of a MOSFET? ये तो diode हो गया, PIN diode. Okay, PIN diode has got lot of applications, of course, especially in the microwave sources. So in case of a MOSFET, what do we do is you are going to have N plus, P, N plus. Typical MOSFET cartoon. Now, what we do is, just to ensure that, remember, I'm speaking about 7 nanometer kind of device. Okay. So in those kind of small, very small, like nano electronic devices, you are going to have this P region very heavily doped. तो आपका field भी बढ़ जाएगा. It can go to the junction breakdown at this N plus P region, junctions. So what we do is, we will put a small region. What is that called?
Lightly doped.
Pocket halos. Lightly doped pocket halos. We will learn about this. This is also one of the solutions of the short channel effects. So effectively meaning that this lightly doped, it is called LDD, lightly doped drain, or simply uh, pocket halos basically. So these are lightly doped regions. तो यहाँ पर lightly doped regions या फिर intrinsic region. Lightly doped means to the extent of making, for example, as I told you, if P is in the order of 10 power 18, these pocket halos are in the order of 10 power 16, let us say. So 10 power 16, you might be saying it is 1 ppm, but in modern technology, 10 power 16 is intrinsic only. So if it is intrinsic region over here, this will behave like this small d. So that even though this device is very small, even though you are applying a high biases, still the device will be able to sustain that, withstand that. Okay, so इसीलिए we are going to have this pocket halos. So pocket halo is a typical, very standard way of withstanding. So the basic concept of this pocket halo or lightly doped drain regions uh, is essentially the inclusion of the I region. Okay, so we have done the mathematical analysis and the model of the pocket halos. We will again revisit this as a solution of the problems of short channel effects. Okay, that's all for today. So we will meet during our lab session, and in the lab session we will discuss something about the literature review and the RP and SAT. And if you are interested, you can join. Okay, thank you so much.